And we're on. What's up, folks? This is a commenter request. A fellow or a woman, I have no idea, by the name of Darth Quimby, who's been sparring with me for quite a while on my videos and my shorts, asked me to tell some old Marine Corps stories. And at first I was like, hey, maybe this person is starting to actually like me. But then I also thought, hey, this motherfucker thinks I'm a stolen valor piece of shit. Which I'm not. They asked what I did in the Marines, and I said radio repairman because that's what I was. Back then it was 2841 was the MOS, I believe. Why would I steal the valor of a guy who fucking does it work? Turn it on, turn it off. Did you drop it? I'm not going to steal that valor. I'm going to steal the valor of the guy who shot Bin Laden in the ball sack, or I found Hussein in the hole under the fucking porta potty. Who the fuck steals radio repairman? But I'm giving Quimby or Darth, however you want to go that way, the benefit of the doubt. They asked for Marine Corps stories. I'll give them some. So I started out at MCRD in San Diego back in '96. I was a little older than the average recruit. I could actually drink, but that didn't matter in boot camp. But yeah, I was a West Coast Marine. Back then they used to call them Hollywood Marines. I don't know if they still do that or not, but we had the same training as the North Kakalaki motherfuckers. And I'm going to show you something. There's a yearbook. And right here, I was there. Right there at my finger. That's me. And if you want to see a bigger and color picture of that, well, for the love of God. Yeah, that embryo was me until I hatched into a full-fledged asshole, and here I am now. So yeah, I was in. Did the old boot camp, West Coast, Hollywood. Then I went to my combat training school, still on the West Coast. It was Camp Pendleton. That was uneventful, except I saw Coonzilla, the goddamn biggest raccoon you'll ever see in your life. Looked like we used to use the M word, looked like a little person dressed as a raccoon, or if you play Mario Brothers back in the day, when Mario Brothers put the raccoon ears on, this motherfucker was formidable and would probably kill a small monkey. Coonzilla, and that fucker came at me, and I ran like a big baby bitch because I had a fucking ceremony rifle on Firewatch, and that's not going to fire anything because it's just basically a big plastic worthless fucking toy gun. Let's skip past that. Went to my MOS school in 29 Palms, California. That's in the middle of the desert. I want to say the Mojave Desert. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. And back then, we had basically a Del Taco, which we don't have in Kansas. I wish we did. It was shitty and it was delicious. You could get like 10 fucking tacos for $5. It was outstanding. They had a Del Taco. I know they had a library. That's where I read the Turner Diaries for the first time. I had to read it. I'm not a white supremacist, but I just wanted to see what the big hoo-ha-ha was about it. The book sucks, but it was interesting to read. And I don't hate anyone. There's no day of the rope. Neither here nor there. Then there was a bank, of course. There was like two fucking gas stations, there was a little mom and pop record store, CD store, tape store, D&D hangout, excuse me, like a little nerd spot. And there was, of course, a tattoo spot. And that was about it. I haven't looked on Google Earth or Maps or just 29 Palms website to see if they've upgraded anything or made anything new or exciting there. I'm sure they had to have by now, 20 some fucking plus years later. You had your options of going west toward Palm Springs, a bunch of uppity fucking whites who had money and they'd throw it in your face and let you know you're a piece of shit. Or you could go east and that was the rest of the continental fucking US, so go where you want to go. I had no car, so I had to depend on the kindness of others to get me to and fro, or I had to stay on 29 Palms base, which, Jesus, Palomino. If you've never been to hell, well, I have. It's not fun. A lot of fucking sand in the ass crack. But I had a friend there. Name was Pals, P-A-L-S. I'm fairly certain his first name was Joshua, or Josh. He was kind of off. Well, he was young and he hadn't found his stride yet. He hadn't found his thing yet. He was just trying to get laid. He was a young guy trying to get laid, and I had been laid numerous times before that. That's not a brag. They weren't all great, and they weren't all fucking trophies. But he was just trying to get laid in general, and he had a girlfriend back home, or a girl who liked him back home, and he asked me, I can write pretty damn good. He wanted me to write a flowery letter to this girl, and I said, hey, you take me out. Oh, there's a decent liquor store out in town, too. I said, you take me out in town in your car, you buy me a fifth of vodka. It's the cheap shit, the plastic bottle shit. I don't care. Get me a fucking gallon of orange juice. You give me an hour alone to sit in my thoughts with my beverage, and I will get you laid. And I did. I made a letter so fucking great, even great old Willie Billy Shakespeare couldn't have fucked with it. Because I got this ginger-headed, bug-eyed boy laid when he went back home on leave, and that's a point of pride right there. But also in 29 Palms, I was the barracks, the very last barracks, top of the hill. Past my barracks was a short mountain. I'm from Kansas, so any mountain over 10 feet is a mountain, but any mound. What I used to do is I'd get my backpack or my fucking my sack, my fucking gym bag. I put enough beers in there to start walking out into the desert. See, the parking lot stopped, and when the parking lot stopped, the lights stopped. Everything past that was the moonlight. So I would walk out past the parking lot lights, I crack one, I start heading up that hill. And I'm not a scientist, but I believe this is science. I would start having beverages up the hill, and I go either halfway or sometimes 3/4 way, or occasionally all the way to the top, which was, these aren't mountains. These are like maybe 200 feet, if that. Probably not even that. Probably seemed like that was probably 100 feet. These are glorified big hills with rocks on them. But you go up there, you knock 2 or 3 down, and you decide it's time to come back down. There was enough of an atmospheric change from thinner air to more solid air. When you came back down, you got fucked up. And by the time I got back to my room at the barracks, which was just right over there, and I went inside, I had 2 roommates. They were either playing, at the time, it was like PlayStation 1 or one of the earliest ones that could connect to actual internet, but you would take half an hour to download a picture. I want to say it was PS1. They had the Mortal Kombat with like all the fucking roster, and you could. I'm not a big video game guy, but they'd be playing that, or they'd be knocked the fuck out, not just lay down and go to sleep. And then also there was a black guy by the name of Feazale, not Ezel from Friday. Feazale. Never knew his first name. But this gentleman wanted to be a barber and own his own barber shop when he got out of the Marines. He was there to get the experience and then have the college money and shit and then scam somehow and get his own barber shop. And he would give me free haircuts because he wanted to learn how to cut every type of hair. There was me. I was the white guy experiment. He had a Hispanic experiment. Asian. He already knew how to cut black hair. But I would get a free haircut every week. And he had the tightest fucking fades I ever had in my life. Feazale. There was Feazale for haircuts. Pals for fucking rides out into town. So that's pretty much Twin Palms. That's my MOS. I want to say it was 2841. I have Meritorious Mass, where I was number one in my class, not once, but twice. But the Meritorious Mass had my goddamn social security number on them. So I can't show it. I can't prove it without one of you shit knockers going and taking away whatever the fuck nothing I have. We'll skip past that. Okay, that's 29 Palms. That's the thing. First duty station. Okinawa, Japan. Camp Hansen. Okinawa is a very small island. Okay, down here you had Kadena. That's your Air Force base. That's where you had all your nice shit because Air Force is a bunch of fucking pussy farts and they get all the nice shit. Well, Camp Hansen, where I was at, I'm right here. Not quite all the way to the top, which I believe was Camp Schwab. Don't quote me on that, but at the time I think it was. I was at Camp Hansen, which was around here, which is probably the smelly part of the taint where the poop sweat runs out when you're blasting somebody in the butthole. Not quite the whole butthole, but where the coagulant fucking ends up. Camp Hansen was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun. It was an indoor barracks, which means the barracks I had in my last barracks in Camp Pendleton, the walkway was outside, so you had to go outside into the elements if you wanted to leave your room. This was like an actual apartment where the walkway was inside, and it was AC, whatever the fuck. It was never AC. It was cooler than standing outside in the fucking heat. It was always at least 80 some degrees there, and it was always at least 3,000% humidity. You could walk outside and walk from here to the end of your driveway, and I assume we all have, we'll say we all have the same driveway. It's 10 to 20 feet. At the end of your driveway, you're already slimy. You're not sweating. You didn't break a sweat walking fucking 20 feet, but you're slimy because the air is so goddamn thick. Yeah, I lost my... Anyway, I was there in 29 Palms. That's my first duty station. Go to the, well, I'll show you. For a year, I was in radio section at 7th Com Battalion, Okinawa, Japan. Hopefully I won't blind you and hit... Okay, you see right there? 7th Com Battalion, Okinawa, Japan. They gave me a fresh-ass plaque. Sadly, my black friend who was there with me the entire time, he got like a little fucking ninja scroll. They like put all their money into this and told him to fuck off, which is sad. And there's my U.S. Marine there, and there's a little thing, and down here, I'll show you my real name. I ain't a fucking pussy. Lance Corporal J.Q. Crafty Cheetah Pullman from the world-renowned, or what I would say, the world's finest. And then I got my butthole licked in Thailand, which I did. That's an actual quote they took from me. When I was there for a year, they sent me to Thailand for a month as a radio repairman to make sure all the communications stayed up for a joint exercise. And of course they did, because I'm the shit. But on our off days, it was like a 24 on, 24 off. And we were right next door to Bangkok. So we just get in the back of one of these little shit fucking like mini trucks that had a roll cage on it. And it was a taxi. And they take you where the fuck you want. And you could negotiate your price. It was lovely. I ended up in Bangkok, and I banged my cock there numerous times because I'm a master negotiator, and I always carried chocolate. This is way back. They probably don't have the same currency system as they did back then, but back then, if you had chocolate or you had some money, and especially if you could negotiate, you could get whatever the fuck you wanted, shy of murdering someone. And I'm sure probably someone did, but I didn't. I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, there in Thailand, we had some good adventures. And then my very last duty station, I came back to the U.S. to Camp Pendleton, Camp Margarita. The dark days of my enlistment. Up to that point, I had at least 3 or 4 agreeable COs. And even when I started at Camp Pendleton, Camp Margarita, 1st Mardiv, Headquarters Battalion, Comm Company, I'm probably getting this all wrong, but it's Comm Company, Maintenance Platoon. I get the shit out of order sometimes because it was fucking over 2 decades ago. But Camp Margarita, Camp Pendleton. When I started there was a CO. His name was Jamal Shanal, or Jamal Shamal. It was a rhyming name. He was awesome. He was a grizzled old black dude who transferred to Quantico to teach. I wish he'd have stayed there, because that guy, had he stayed there the entire time, I would have stayed in. But when he left, and here's a little flashback to Okinawa. In Okinawa, there was a staff sergeant who worked in the same building as I did, who wasn't in the same platoon. Well, I don't know how to explain it. He worked in the same building, but he wasn't part of my section. His name was Jerry Knight. K-N-I-G-H-T. Knight, like the ones who used to have valor and work for the kings and queens and protect motherfuckers. This motherfucker didn't do any of that. This motherfucker was a piece of shit. And I understand why. Because later on I found out his name was Jerry Knight, and his parents named his brother Tom. So his brother was Tom. Their parents named them Tom and fucking Jerry. I can understand why this guy had something to prove in his life, because his parents sucked asshole. But this guy also sucked asshole. Anyway, this motherfucker, when he was in Okinawa, he was a staff sergeant. Somehow, when he came over to, well, I know how, he went to the fucking the follow-up schools and earned his butter bar, but he came to fucking Camp Pendleton as Lieutenant Knight. And between Okinawa and Camp Pendleton, this motherfucker decided to become a goddamn marathon runner and wants to fucking run 3 or 4 marathons a fucking week. We were stationed right next to fucking Marine Corps Recon. These motherfuckers didn't run as much as we did. They'd be out there doing like boat maintenance or the raft maintenance and shit, and they would look up and be like, God damn, y'all motherfuckers know that you're pogues? Person other than grunt or whatever the fuck. That's what I was told. Person other than grunt. Pogues. Pogues were basically, you're the office bitches. And we were the office bitches. But for some reason, the office bitches were running goddamn Boston marathons, New York marathons, fucking marathons, fucking Forrest Gump marathons, 3 times a goddamn week, because this fucking idiot. And he, oh, god damn it, his voice. This motherfucker, his voice. I know at least a few of you have seen South Park, and I know at least I know at least a few of you know who Terrence Phillip is. This motherfucker right here in real life, and I shit you not, and I swear to God, I swear on my fucking soul, this guy sounded like Terrence and or Phillip.
Hey, buddy. Oh, fuck you, guy. Oh, let's go for a run, buddy. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
Gee, You just want to fucking just take him and slam his face on a fucking rock. But that's basically the journey. I stayed in maintenance platoon for the remainder of my fucking enlistment, and they asked if I would stay in, and they offered me like the 20, what was it, 5 grand, 25, they offered me whatever the fuck it was, but it broke down to shit for another 5 years. I'm like, I gotta do another 5 years with this fucking idiot, and I gotta play by your rules, and fucking, nah, it's not worth it. I'd rather fucking do anything than be around this fucking idiot. Anyone else. But yeah, that was the last. Oh, and there's a side note. You probably seen, oh, maybe you haven't. I made a short where when I was in, there was me and this guy, Joshua Calder. Now, that motherfucker, he went on to be a cop in New Mexico somewhere. But when we were in, one day, we had this end of the day brief where the sergeant would come out and give what happened during the day or what's going to happen tomorrow. And one day I just slipped in. There was a Britney Spears concert, and she had like just turned 18, and it was like a live concert, and I saw it, and I put a little note on there and handed it to him, said, hey, when you're done, just say there's a Britney Spears concert tonight if you're feeling randy and you want something to skeet to. And he did, and it got a big chuckle. And then the next day, I was asked to, can you do something else that, you know, toward the end of the day, it's kind of funny, you just talk a little shit, you say a little shit about what's going on in the platoon, whatever. And I was like, sure. Because I sat behind the desk all day playing Minesweeper and playing with myself and just yelling shit at people because I'm a fucking moron. Like when somebody would get paged, they say like, attention Smith. It's like, attention Smith. I just go, is gay. Back when you could say is gay without half the fucking world melting down around you. I'm a Neanderthal. Wham. But shit like that. And fucking, I got the Ricky Bobby hand. But the motherfucking, sergeant and all them asked me, hey, at the end of the day, could maybe you write a little piece of what's going on around the platoon and make it funny, and I'll read it, and ha ha ha. And it was called the Morale Report, and there's a short about it, and I fucking created it, and I don't know if it's still pertinent or fucking alive in the Marine Corps. I fucking created that. And then my friend, Joshua Calder, came in and helped me fucking fine tune it, and together we made that shit. And it was like company wide. I had to send it to the fucking colonel, I had to send it to fucking Jerry's boyfriend. I can't prove it, but yes, they fucked each other. I know it. They know it. Dogs know it. That's a shout out to Kids in the Hall. Brain Candy. I don't steal jokes. I'll quote them and I'll give them credit because that's a fucking great joke. If you haven't seen Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy, get off your fucking ass. It's free on fucking YouTube. Get your goddamn affairs straight. Go watch that. But yes, nonetheless, I created the Morale Report, and then when my time came up, I told them I would stay. I didn't give a fuck about the bonus. You give me duty station. There was a duty station in my hometown of Kansas, fucking McConnell Air Force Base. No. Alright, cool. There was a reservist, at the time, there was a reservist base in the Bronx, New York. And I was like, oh, the Bronx, the fucking birth of hip hop. Give me that motherfucker. I can go to the birthplace of hip hop. I might be walking down the street one day and run into Curtis Blow or KRS-One. Give me the fucking Bronx. Nope. We'll give you some money. I don't need fucking money. I'll make money. So the last one, I don't even recall. No, they're like, we'll send you to Hawaii. And I was like, Hawaii, where the cost of living is 18 times more than the fucking cost of living in California, which is 75 times more than the cost of Wichita? Fuck that. I don't make that fucking much money. I'll just get out. Fuck y'all. And that was March of 2001. And then, as we all know, in November of 2001, I had a birthday. But in September of 2001, as we all know, on the 11th of September, people fucked up. I don't care what your conspiracy is. If it was an inside job, an outside job, a blow job, a hand job, a rim job, I don't care. They didn't invite me back because I'm pretty sure they know, as I stated many times before, that if I had to come back and I had to go to fucking war with Jerry Knight, he would be an accident by my hands. He would have stepped in front of my muzzle at the wrong time and, well, oh shit, I'm sorry. Shit happens. I've lost the fucking train of thought here. I'm off track. I've shown you proof. I was in. Hopefully Darth doesn't think I'm a fucking valor thief. And if they do, I really don't give a shit. I was there. And I do appreciate Darth for well, Jesus Christ. When my balls drop, I do put this forward to Darth. I've had a few beverages. Forward, Darth. You called me out. I showed you proof. I may not know all your stupid fucking file numbers and shit, but I was there. You can find me. I hope this quenches your thirst and makes you happy. And I hope the few of you who sat through this bullshit, it's about a half an hour. I thought it'd be about half an hour. I hope the motherfuckers who sat through this enjoyed it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this beverage. I'm going to go take me a nice Epsom salt bath because my entire fucking skeleton hurts. Thank you, Jerry Knight, for your fucking marathons and my big fucking size 13 flat feet. You fuck. I pray to God someone out there got you. That's not fair. That's not nice. That's not karma. I pray to God maybe COVID got you, or maybe your wife got tired of your bullshit and she got you. But she got off somehow through a technicality. As long as you are incapacitated or not among the living, I will sleep well at night. The rest of you who watch my other shit, my naps and my stupid little fucking shorts, it's like 3D. The rest of you who give me your love, and especially the ones who give me your hate, thank you for sitting through this, and I'll see you again soon. If you got any fucking requests for stupid fucking rants, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is... Throw it in a comment. I don't want your fucking likes. I don't want your fucking thumbs ups. I don't want any of that shit. I want your subscriptions. If you want me to do something, say some shit and do some shit, you let me know. And if you want to do the rest of that shit, you do it. I will never, never, ever, ever fucking not once beg you for any of that. I'm getting ready to get in the tub and then maybe, possibly, make sweet love to myself. You have a great night.